So a chance for her today to get back into the swing of things in a Mayo jersey, while likewise for Dublin, Aoife Curran back in the Dublin squad after a couple of years break, another of the 2017 All-Ireland winners, as Maggie Farrelly throws the ball in, and this round one Lidl National League Division 1 clash is up and running, with Dublin, the home side, playing in the first half from left to right, defending the dressing room end, as it were, here at Parnell Park, and Dublin into the attack right from the get-go, as Aoife Curran gets an early touch. Nice ball to Annabelle Timothy. This would be the perfect start for Annabelle and Dublin, but her shot flashes across the face of goal and wide, and already we can see Dublin's intent, John. Front foot football.
Yeah, front foot, as I said, into Annabelle, and in fairness to her, she seemed very confident when she had that ball in hand, and she backed herself to have a goal, but for her, unfortunately, went to the right of Roisin Dyer's post and wide.
So Mayo get their kick out away. Aoife Geraghty secures possession, and the ball now in the hands of Erin Murray. Just slipped on the sideline here in front of us. That gives possession back to Dublin. Quick hands from Hannah McGuinness, and here's Grace Coss from Kilmacud Crokes. Played here against Mayo in the championship last June, a match that Dublin ran out comfortable 8-point winners in, as Niamh Heatherton, another of their first choice 15, gets on the ball, and that is a lovely, stylish score from Niamh Heatherton from Clontarf. She made it look very easy, and Dublin hit the front after 90 seconds.
Yeah, Niamh is well known, of course, throughout the country, you know, big player and hard managed, and Saoirse Lally will have her work cut out for her today, and she knows that.
Yeah, it's certainly one of the matchups to watch out for here. Saoirse Lally, Mayo's go-to designated marker, picking up Dublin's danger woman, Niamh Heatherton, who will carry the mantle of the go-to inside forward today. Mayo goes short with the restart, and that just gives them a little bit of work to do to try and get out. Ciara Durkin, she's wearing 12, but in the reshuffle caused by the absence of Danielle Caldwell, she's gone back into defence. She's looking here for Lucy Wallace. Ball runs down along the sideline, and possession back to Dublin. So line ball from Aoife Curran, takes the return pass, gives it back to Chloe Darby, goes by Sharon El Masri, looking to deliver a diagonal ball, just holds up nicely for Martha Byrne, so experienced, read that situation well. Maggie Farrelly lets this develop. The final shot from Sophie McIntyre, and Dublin have doubled their lead. Nice and simple and very effective.
Yeah, lovely score by Sophie. As I said, she's just like before, very confident on the stroke, and popped it right over the middle of the black spot.
So that will certainly catch the eye of the new Dublin management team, led by the former Dublin footballers Paul Casey and Derek Murray, appointed just 5 weeks ago. This their first competitive outing, and the home side leading by 2 points to no score. Long ball delivered in towards Niamh Heatherton again. Breaks it down to herself, has the power to hold off the defender, and backs herself high and wide off the boot of the Dublin full forward, who's proving a real handful in these early stages.
Yeah, you nailed it there, Mike, a couple of minutes ago by saying that that's going to be a big battle between herself and Saoirse Lally today. But Mayo are struggling up front at the moment to get their hands on the ball. 3 balls have gone into the forward line, and they've come out straight away.
Kick out from Roisin Dyer on her first day out in the National League. Mayo finding it difficult to clear their lines. This is Chloe Darby, and that is another missed chance for Dublin, but you can see already they are trying to pin Mayo in. They're pressing Roisin Dyer. It is a big day for her, but Dublin will know, John, her lack of experience here could be an Achilles heel for Mayo.
Yeah, they definitely are. They're pushing on the kickouts big times there, and Mayo, they're getting them to a certain degree, but just find it hard to get them couple of passes away. Maybe this time now they'll have better luck.
This time Mayo do get out. It's Erin Murray from Ballyhonus across to Millie Sheridan from Kilmore Moy. Plays it up the line, and a nice 1-2 also with Ciara White. This is better from Mayo. Chance for Aoife Geraghty coming at full speed. Just got a little nudge, fair and square, from the Dublin defender who was tracking her, and that was enough to just knock her off balance, and the shot flies wide.
Yeah, just a bit better from Mayo. Yeah, it'll give young Millie Sheridan a bit of confidence as well. She played a nice 1-2 there, got on the ball, and 9 times out of 10 Aoife Geraghty would have popped it over the bar, but this time, unfortunately for Mayo, it went wide.
Kitty Moran-Tighe, the Dublin goalkeeper, by the way, was the county minor goalkeeper last season, so a big step up in the absence of Abby Shields here. She gets her chance. Karen O'Connell from Nafiana is the sub-keeper for Dublin, who come out of defence very impressively. Jess Tobin down along the right-hand side, but nobody alive to it in a Dublin jersey. Well cut out back there by Saoirse Lally, who crashes into the Dublin forward on her way out, and it looks like Annabelle Timothy will need some attention here. Well, Saoirse Lally is an uncompromising sort of defender. That time she won the foot race and was determined to come out with that ball one way or the other. But a chance for us, John, after just over 6 minutes to take stock, and the scoreboard probably a fair reflection of what we've seen so far.
Yeah, it's amazing with even all the experience Dublin have in their team today. They definitely have settled it better. They seem to be a bit more comfortable on the ball, and Mayo as such so far just seem a little bit nervy, and they just need to, as I said, get them few passes together, get a couple of get runs up the field, and get a couple of good balls inside, and maybe just get on the scoreboard, settle things down a bit.
Just to put into context how many new faces are out here today for Dublin, only 4 of this team started against Galway in the All-Ireland quarter-final last year, while from a Mayo perspective, only 4 of them started the 2023 All-Ireland semi-final. There's been a big turnover for Liam McHale, the Mayo manager, to cope with. He's lost so many players again in recent weeks, while for Dublin, as John mentioned, some players taking a step back, some players taking an extended break, and of course the likes of Sinead Goldrick and Jennifer Dunn on duty in the AFL, and more than likely will be back in action come championship. But it's a new era for Dublin. Mick Bohan has stepped aside after an historic, successful reign. Leinster's and All-Ireland titles won to beat the band, really. What can Dublin achieve under Paul Casey and Derek Murray? Well, today is their first day out, and right now their defence is on high alert as Mayo try to stitch a move together that might just lead to their first score. This is Catherine Sullivan, Mayo's captain for the day in the absence of Danielle Caldwell. Gives it to Aoife Geraghty. Support just behind them from Sharon El Masri from Westport. And here's Erin Murray, spots a gap, drives through it, but the shot was ambitious. Second wide for Mayo, shot from Erin Murray.
Yeah, interesting. Dublin keeping 3 up inside, the D inside in their own, and Mayo full back line, and just left one forward around the half forward line then as well, and then the rest have come back and made it really hard for Mayo that time. Mayo were going back and over the field, but to no avail.
Kick out from Kitty Moran-Tighe, picked out Aoife Curran, and again Dublin get out that bit easier and that bit quicker than their opponents. Rebecca McDonald under pressure did well. Here she is again, scanning inside to see where Niamh Heatherton was, but that was really good play by Hannah Reap, the wing back from Knockmore. Stood her ground, won possession, and sets an attack in motion for Annie Goff. These two teams played out a fascinating battle down in Ballina in the league last year. Mayo racing into a big lead before losing by 7. Very strong win that day, made it a game of 2 halves. No issue like that here at Parnell Park. No breeze, conditions ideal. That pass, a little overcooked there by Dublin, by Grace Coss. Intercepted by Erin Murray. Ball is in the hands now of Millie Sheridan. Murray takes the return. Very athletic, powerful midfielder. just fouled as she released the pass. She's had a good first 10 minutes, Erin Murray, and her hard work pays off.
Yeah, it was great to see Erin Murray out there for the simple reason is there was so much talk about Erin Murray for years, coming up through the ranks and playing underage at Ballyhorns or whatever, and she was really well talked about. Unfortunately, suffered a few injuries at minor level and she found it hard to get rhythm in things with injuries picking up the whole time. But she had a good season last season. It's good to see her. Fitness seems to be pretty good there today, so good start for her to the game, as you said, Mike.
So first chance for Sinead Welsh to have a shot at goal. Missed a lot of last season due to injury, but a key player in the Mayo game plan, and that's an excellent score from Sinead Walsh. It's taken Mayo just over 10 minutes to open their account, considering the amount of territory and possession that Dublin have had. The lead now back to a single point.
Yeah, that's it. I think Mayo, I don't know how they travelled here today and what sort of confidence they were coming, but I think even, as I said, 10, 11 minutes into the game, they should know well here now that this for me, so far, has the makings of a 50-50 game. That's if Mayo can really believe that they can come and beat Dublin today. We know ourselves, it's been a while since they've done that.
Again, the transition from defence to attack by Dublin is easy on the eye. They're inside the Mayo half, and Rebecca McDonald is bearing down on goal. She's got Saoirse Lally for company. McDonald gets the shot in, just didn't catch it sweetly, and that's across the face of goal. They are creating chances, Dublin, but when Paul Casey and Derek Murray, John, look at the stat sheet, the conversion rate 50% at best, probably a little lower.
Yeah, probably. In fairness, it is. In fairness to Saoirse Lally, that time she did well. She kept the Dublin player out on the wing and more or less said to her, look, if you want to shoot from there, do. And Saoirse's fancied that she wasn't going to get the score from there. So it's a free for Dublin here. Thought of Anton, the Dublin player, seemed to barge into the Mayo player's chest, but Maggie saw it the other way, so it's going to be free to Dublin, and she's...
Yeah, the worry for Mayo here is that Catherine Sullivan is the player who's down injured, and she is one of literally just a handful of experienced players. In fact, it's Annie Goff, I beg your pardon. It looked initially like it was Catherine Sullivan. It's Annie Goff from McHale Rovers who was injured in that collision with Chloe Darby. The Crave Kieran midfielder was the quickest back to her feet. She will have the free. And the good news for Mayo is that Annie Goff doesn't look any the worse for wear.
Yeah, Annie's an integral part of this Mayo team now, so she's very important that she's on the field.
Quick free by Chloe Darby down the line. Just didn't stick for Annabelle Timothy. And it's played backwards by Ciara Durkin as Mayo try again to beat the Dublin press. Annie Goff showing no ill effects of the injury, just held back there as she tried to break the line.
Yeah, Ella Brennan back there as well, another player that's come back into the fold. Mike's come back from a cruise ship injury not too long ago, so it's good to see her back.
I think safe to say Lucy Wallace there quite literally took her eye off the ball.
Yeah, it's just to keep your eye on it, keep the focus, and she just didn't do it that time.
First day out in the Lidl Ladies National League, understandably some players a little ring rusty, but Mayo put themselves under pressure here. Lovely turn by Chloe Darby. Martha Byrne, this is a nice build up, good chance, scuffed by Hannah McGuinness, but again it was Martha Byrne. Every chance she gets, the All-Star, the All-Ireland winner, when she gets an opportunity to drive into that Mayo half, she tends to take it.
Yeah, she does. Yeah, look at Martha's loads of years of experience that she has, and she's using it to the best of her ability at the moment.
Worth pointing out as well, no countdown clock being used here at Parnell Park today, so it will be really at the discretion of Maggie Farrelly as to how much extra time we play, but give or take 14 minutes gone in the first half, and it is Dublin who are setting the early pace, but they haven't scored now for 11 minutes, and certainly if their plan A of hitting Niamh Heatherton early doesn't work out, they are finding it difficult to put scores on the board.
A bit of a mad one there from Aoife Garrett. She's definitely want to be keeping them ones down. I don't think we have the forward line to be trying to catch them out of the sky as Dublin come on the attack again.
Nice ball out in front of Jodie Egan. rides the challenge. She's by Sharon El Mastri. She's away from Erin Murray. What a run and what a score from Jodie Egan. Well, she's a very powerful inside forward, and once she built up ahead of steam there was no staying with her, and Dublin eased 2 ahead again.
Yeah, serious strength and fairness from Jodie Egan to burst through there and kick it over the bar. But yet again, it comes back from the free. Mayo had the free initially and just gave it away way too easily.
So the Leinster champions, Dublin, lead 3-1. Decent crowd here in Parnell Park. Understandably, the Dublin supporters outnumbering their Mayo counterparts. These counties also meet later this evening at Croke Park in the National League. That's the Men's National League, as through the gap goes Rebecca McDonald. Jodie Egan, confidence high, wants to be involved again, and that was a lazy challenge really by Ella Brennan. Just put her hand out to wrap up the forward and gives away a free in a very scoreable position.
Yeah, I don't know, is it the right matchup really for Ella at the moment? Jodie just seems to tower above her there, and strength-wise, you see she was finding it hard to kind of stop her, and was just kind of with a high tackle was forced upon her more than anything else in the end, so yeah, good chance here for Dublin to widen it out to a three-point lead.
So that's Chloe Darby, and that is a 4th Dublin point. Well, it's a lovely day to be a free taker here at Parnell Park. No breeze, no rain, and target practice really for Chloe Darby. Dublin's lead is out to 3. It's the biggest lead they've had in the game. As we tick into the second quarter.
It's hard to believe we've had the weather we've had, the biggest storm probably this country's ever seen in the last 24, 36 hours, and you see what's in front of us here today. It's absolutely pristine conditions for any teams to play in at this time of the year.
Just chatting to a few of the stewards on the way through. Some of them, their power is still not restored, so the opportunity to come here and watch a game of football was gratefully accepted. Gets them out of the house, gets them out into the fresh air, and right now the Dublin stewards are certainly enjoying what they're seeing, as here they come again. Jodie Egan towards Rebecca McDonald, but that was again excellent covering by Hannah Reap, the Mayo wing back there, to track the run, to get a hand in. Sinead Walsh back to help out in defence. Ball breaks kindly for Mayo there, and for Walsh, who drills it down the far side, looking for Lucy Wallace. A rare Mayo attack in the last 5 minutes, but it's cut out over there by a very vigilant Dublin defence. Leah Caffrey drove out there and drove into the Mayo forward. It's Annie Goff again who's in the wars, and Maggie Farrelly felt that was not fair, and that was an illegal challenge by the Dublin defender, who just took forward and ball on her way out there at high speed.
Yeah.
And the 4-time All-Star, the Dublin captain, is noted by the referee.
Yeah, look, I suppose it goes back to the whole rule. I mean, Annie Goff was very brave there to go in and put her body, in the line of Leah Caffrey, who's coming out with the ball, and once she hits her on the chest, whatever, it's going to be a free in. So I could always say it's that rule that I suppose a lot of people talk about. Is it a bit harsh, whatever? But if you have the player that's brave enough to go in and do that, well, then you use it to your advantage. So a good chance for Sinead Welsh to have turned Dublin possession into a good turnover here, and a good opportunity to bring it back to a 2-point game.
Well, certainly there looked to be no danger for Dublin when Leah Caffrey won that ball, but here is Sinead Walsh, and there is a second point for Mayo. But she's their only scorer so far. Liam McHale's team have not scored from open play, and yet they're well in this game on the scoreboard, at least 4 points to 2 on very limited possession. Yeah,
and for me, Sinead Walsh and Maria Cann, looking at the Mayo forward line, are the most likely ones to get them scores. So that's why I'm wondering why, to see Sinead Walsh filtering back now again into the Mayo backline is bit funny, but I suppose they want to get her energy there to maybe bring the ball up the field. Ciara White, in fairness to her, as I said, back first time playing in a few years. She's been winning good ball inside.
So free to Dublin. Leah Caffrey wants to get involved. Chips it in. She's looking for a Heatherton, but Mayo alive to that tactic now. Cut out back there by Ella Brennan, the corner back from Charlestown. Very quick across the ground, and Here she is again. Needs to use it here or could lose it, and she has lost it. Won back by Hannah McGuinness, who just waited, bided her time, and now Mayo's defence out of position and out of shape as Chloe Darby tries to get her head up. Plenty of support. First player to get there is Aoife Curran from the O'Dwyer's club. Coming in off the left wing is Niamh Donlan, one of the survivors from last year. Good pressure by Annie Goff though, and that's overcarried by Niamh Donlan. Free out to Mayo.
She initially did well and had the right idea, but just unfortunately in Maggie's I just took that extra step too much.
Well, if you're wondering why Mayo might be struggling for scores, it's worth reminding yourself that the likes of Fionnuala McLaughlin, the Cafferty sisters, Shauna Howley, all nailed on starters were they available. Well, they're all not involved with Mayo this season, as Jodie Egan again looking to make something happen. Lays it back this time though, as far as Grace Koss. Mayo have brought 13 players back inside their own 45, just trying to clog up the channels. That was an important interception by Lucy Wallace. Here's Erin Murray again. Annie Goff, who's handled arguably more ball than any other Mayo player in this first half. Nice delivery inside to Ciara White. Looking for Aoife Geraghty. That was a vital interception by Leah Caffrey. Did really well there, the Dublin captain. Well, she showed all her experience and all her class.
Yeah, just Mayo will be disappointed though. A couple of balls gone astray there now again, and that really shouldn't be given away, and it's just feeding right into the way Dublin want to play.
Here come Dublin on the counter attack. Sophie McIntyre looking to take the return. Lets it run through instead. Sitting in the pocket is Niamh Heatherton. The Clontarf full forward just decided to slow it down a little, wait for support. Now here's Heatherton again. She has options. Rebecca McDonald, a little show and go. McDonald with the snapshot, but under pressure from two Mayo defenders there, Maria Cannon and Saoirse Lally, and the shot flies wide.
Yeah, what are we? We're 22 minutes in, and I think we can guess this. It's not going to be the highest scoring game in the world. Both teams are struggling. If they're under that little bit of pressure at all from their marker or opposition player, find it hard to get the proper shot in.
Well, when they met here last June in the group stages of the championship, Dublin ran out 110 to 5-point winners. Now they've got a free, and they could be in on goal here. It's Jodie Egan. She's going to give it to Rebecca McDonald. Great finish. No chance for Roisin Dyer. And Rebecca McDonald with the first goal of the game, 23 minutes in, and it was simply unstoppable.
Yeah, just when I said it wasn't going to be high scoring, but in fairness, Mayo yet again had the ball, and I thought, for me, I thought it was a free out to Mayo, but Maggie seen it the other way around, and Mayo got caught then big time and on the overlap, and Dublin just punished them.
Well, that is a real hammer blow for Liam McHale's team. Paul Casey and Derek Murray will be absolutely delighted. The quick free. Mayo's defence just caught cold, and it was very selfless play by Jodie Egan. She had options left and right. She could have gone it alone, but put it on a plate for Rebecca McDonald, who crashed it in to the roof of the net. And the Ballybodens St Enda's player will not forget that goal. It was coolness personified, and it has left Dublin now in a very comfortable position. 24 minutes into the first half.
Yeah, in fairness to Rebecca, look, I don't know whether the change for her to come in for Carla Rowe this morning or today or whatever, because Carla Rowe, I saw her out there, she's togged out and maybe might be available to come on at some stage. So if it was a thing that she wasn't brought in till later on today, when she woke up this morning, she's told she'd have a goal after 24 minutes. I'm sure she'd be delighted to think that. So look at Sinead Walsh from the exact same position as she got the last two, so Mayo could badly do with this.
Well, she's Mayo's only scorer so far. 3 points, all from frees, all badly needed as well. But Mayo will have to find scores from somewhere else, from somebody else now, if they're to get back into this game, as Katie Moore and Tighe just slips as she struck the kick out. But all's well that ends well for Dublin. Leah Caffrey, Jess Tobin, And back to the teenage goalkeeper again, Katie Moran-Tighe, who hasn't had a whole lot to deal with so far. And no matter what way you dress it up, John, I suppose when you are missing forwards of the calibre of the Cafferty sisters, the Needham sisters, Fiona McHale, Fionnuala McLaughlin, the list goes on and on. You can see why Mayo are struggling to put scores on the board.
Yeah, but I suppose on the other side, to even that up, you'd have to say like Sinead Ahern, Hannah Terrell, Nicole Owens, and Carla Rowe, obviously, as I mentioned a few minutes ago, is missing for Dublin as well. So for me, Mayo, like Ciara White's doing well inside. She's the target player, but she seems very isolated when she does win that ball. It's just to have somebody come off her. Mayo maybe need to back themselves a little bit more, maybe keep another player up and try to go toe-to-toe with this Dublin team, because after say, like the Dublin team is as we said at the start of the game, it has more inexperience in it than the Mayo team.
Well, it's been a real notable feature of the first half so far. Dublin's power in that middle eight: Martha Byrne, Chloe Darby, Grace Coss, and the hard-running Rebecca McDonald as well. And they really have taken control of that sector.
Yeah, they're a big team and very physical around the middle and up into the the central positions, and it's making a difference. That's no doubt.
Well, attention here for Sophie McIntyre from Lucan Sarsfields. That's the reason for the stoppage.
Yeah, she took a hefty knock, in fairness. I think it was Erin Murray that collided with her. It was accidental more than anything else. But I think they just want to make sure that she's okay to continue and that she hasn't picked up any bit of a concussion or anything. It's 3.5 minutes to go, but I think, Mike, we can safely say there's about another 3.5-4 minutes on top of that.
So what can Mayo come up with from here? Catherine Sullivan's free bounces kindly for Erin Murray, who manages to hurdle the challenge. She's got support inside from Ciara White. Ball breaks back to Erin Murray, and eventually Maggie Farrelly blows the whistle. Felt that there was a foul there on the Mayo player. It will be a free in. Certainly the Dublin defence not standing on ceremony, but that was better. And Ciara White, again, who hasn't played county football for a couple of years, she is getting stuck in on her return to the Mayo forward line.
Doing really well, Ciara, in fairness. Ciara was a serious minor for Mayo and went on and played senior football. Played some of her best football actually at wing back, but she's played in the forwards mostly all her career. But she's been a great target for them up there today so far. But Erin Murray, in fairness, she's driving forward at every opportunity as well.
Well, no doubt the frees of Sinead Walsh are keeping Mayo in this game. That's now 4 from 4 for the full forward from McHale Rovers. She will be in Croke Park tomorrow, no doubt, supporting Crossmolina in the All-Ireland Intermediate Club Football Final. They play Ballinderry at 1:30. A lot of Crossmolina connections in this Mayo ladies team. But right now, it is really just that goal from Rebecca McDonald that separates the teams as Mayo get in. What a finish by Sinead Walsh. Well, a flawless finish. When she got her chance, she took it.
Yeah, in fairness, Sinead did very well. It was a good turnover by Mayo. Got a bit of a 3-on-1, so they did. Got inside, and Sinead Walsh onto her, unfavoured left foot, but fancied herself and popped it in the top of the net. And suddenly we've a level game, Mike.
Well, all change utterly. That terrific finish from Sinead Walsh, Mayo's only scorer in the game so far. Her father Gabriel won an All-Ireland club medal with Crossmolina way back in 2001. Not quite sure if he ever scored a goal quite like that, but she has suffered with injuries these last few seasons, but back with a bang here after 28 minutes. Dublin, who were 5 points up and cruising 5 minutes ago, have been reeled right back in.
Yeah, and as we were saying, Mike, the Mayo just needed to maybe back themselves a little bit more and take on this Dublin team instead of giving it. I felt they came out and gave them too much respect early on, and now they'll really begin to fancy themselves and they'll grow in a bit of confidence, you imagine. But see, Sinead Walsh, she had again back in the Mayo instead of Mayo 45, I'd really be inclined to be pushing her up. I think for Mayo's sakes, to have her up there, because at the moment, like as you said, she's scored all Mayo's scores so far. That's Mayo's first score from play as well after 28 minutes. So, it's not the greatest stat in the world that you want.
Here's Leah Caffrey back to mind the house. She was the deepest Dublin defender there as Mayo tried to spring an attack over the top. We're now into time added on at the end of the first half. We're watching two largely experimental teams here. It is leading to plenty of chances, plenty of open football. Dublin haven't scored, by the way, since Rebecca McDonald's goal in the 23rd minute, as Mayo have come roaring back into contention. And here they come again. Here's the goal scorer, Sinead Walsh. She's going to shoot. She's 35 metres out, and that is away to the right and wide.
Yeah, she had the confidence to go and do it, Mike. I suppose you've scored 1-4, feeling good. I said, why not? Just as Dublin, they've handed Dublin the kick out this time, and every one of them seems to be filtering back. Every one of the Mayo team have filtered back into their own half. So they're obviously thinking the last couple of minutes of the half, we're going to hold on to what we have now.
So Dublin try to break down the stand side with Niamh Donlan. Coming on the burst here is Sophie McIntyre. By one defender, bounces off a second. This would be some score gathered by Roisin Dyer, but she's carried it out over the end line and given away a 45. Well, Sophie McIntyre there almost single-handedly trying to take on and beat the Mayo defence. Very nearly pulled it off. Dublin get a 45.
It was amazing though, Mike, from the Dublin kick out. Like the Mayo team, it was like if they're running off for half time. Every one of them had ran back into their own half, and to have everyone back there, still Dublin seemed to just come forward at ease and do whatever they wanted. And like the Dublin player got the shot away fairly well, didn't execute it like they wanted, but unfortunately for Mayo, the keeper Roisin just brought it out over the line. So Dublin's still in possession here.
So a very straightforward run up by Chloe Darby, gathered at her ease by Sharon El Masri as Mayo try to hit Dublin on the counter-attack. It's Catherine Sullivan. Really good work by Chloe Darby, who raced across to close down Sullivan, wouldn't let her out without a fight. Now it's Dublin's turn to try and play at pace. Mayo scrambling in defence, back into position. Rebecca McDonald, the goal scorer. Sophie McIntyre, nice layoff to Niamh Donlan, who's overcarried the ball. Maggie Farrelly right on the spot as again Mayo's defence just closed ranks.
It did close ranks. I have to say, in fairness to Maggie, she's very consistent with the steps. It's 4 steps and that's it. Any more, she's going to pull you for it, so she is. But yeah, Mayo, with Catherine Sullivan out into the cul-de-sac that time, Mayo just seemed to isolate themselves a bit too much at times. In Dublin, they're going forward, as I said, just holding on to it a little bit too much as Mayo come in the attack here again.
Great ball by Annie Goff, looking for the run of Saoirse Lally, the Mayo fullback it was, who took off up the field, but she was tracked every step of the way by Niamh Heatherton.
Brilliant cover. It's not every day you get a full forward that'll cover back like that, Mike.
Well, it feels at times like we're watching old school throwback football. Both teams just committing players to attack, playing at high pace. You just hope they can keep it up.
Yeah, and it's funny you say that, because even we say the 2 sets of midfielders are like the old style midfielders as well. They're big and strong players.
Box to box.
Yeah, absolutely, getting up and down the field. But the game has grown into life now a little bit in the last few minutes, and as we edge into the last few moments now of the first half.
Coming up on 11 minutes now since Dublin last scored. Certainly when Rebecca McDonald hit the net, Mayo would have taken this position at half-time, you'd feel. That goal from McDonald left them 5 points down, and really they did look to be at 6s and 7s, but they've come right back into it. Ball played across by Ella Brennan to Catherine Sullivan. Chasing after her is Jodie Egan as Maggie Farrelly blows the half-time whistle. It has been a frantic and a